Hello there, I'm Ruth. Just a mom with a tale that cuts close to the heart. Where are you listening from? Pinch it in the comments. Makes me think we're getting cozy over a cup of tea, not having a natter at a screen. Mother's Day was my downfall. Glittery cards, wonky with sticky, dandelions clutched in my little one's hands like nuggets of gold. Emily's sticky cuddles, her giggles, they were my everything. But this year, when I was 21, that world unraveled, her laugh shattered something in me, and what I did then changed us both for good. Emily was my entire life, my only child. I raised her by myself after fatherhood was too heavy for her dad, too heavy for him. But I carried it, each sleepless night, each throbber step. I worked the midnight shift at Rosie's Diner, my feet swollen, pouring coffee for truckers who barely noticed I was there. I'd stumble home at dawn, drop a kiss on Emily's forehead where she slept, and collapse, dreaming of her future. All money I saved, all shifts I worked were for her. Diapers, school, those shoes she begged me to get. I mended my own clothes so she could have clean ones. I too missed college, travel, love, investing my dreams in hers. I remember her first day of kindergarten, her little hand slipping from mine as she ran into the classroom, pigtails bobbing. I stood there, heart overflowing, whispering, "You've got this, baby." Or that evening she had the flu, her tiny frame burning against mine as I sang lullabies till dawn. Those were the moments that stitched us together. At 19, she scrolled up a wedding gown on her phone, eyes sparkling. "Mom, this is the one," she said to me. It was more than I could afford, but I worked overtime, drew from my savings account, and bought it. Her twirl in that wedding gown, her smile, it was all worth it. At least I thought. This Mother's Day, Emily had a brunch planned at our house. I walked on air. She wanted to have the celebratory affair, even invited friends at college. I ironed my best blue dress, put on lipstick I hadn't used in decades, hoping she'd be impressed. But as I walked into the dining room with the tray of fruit rattling in my hands, the room turned cold. Emily's eye passed over me, and her mouth twisted into a sneer. "Mom, you're retro," she said, her voice a knife. Her friends burst out laughing. The world tilted. "It's pioneer woman-esque," one of them cackled, her voice laced with scorn. Emily laughed the loudest, rolling back her head as if I were their breakfast comedy. My face burned, my chest tightened, but I smiled. Mothers do that, don't they? We swallow the pain for our children, even if they are the ones hurting us. I set down the tray, my shaking hands trembling as I poured the juice, and smiled as they taunted me about my old white cups, my retro sensibility. Each laugh cut like a blade, going deeper because she was the one doing it, my child, my heart. I stayed for the brunch, being the perfect hostess. I asked them about classes, their dreams, forcing chuckles over their stories. But inside, I was doubling over. This wasn't some stranger's disdain. It was Emily, the woman to whom I'd devoted my life. When her friends left, she scrolled through her phone, oblivious to my silence. No thank you for dinner, no glance, no care. She didn't see the tears I hid, the shaking of my hands when I shoved the table back. That night, alone at the sink, suds on my arms, cold anger moved in, not loud but deep, like a stone dropped into still water. She didn't see me anymore. I was a relic, a laughingstock. Getting up at night, her laughter was a sadistic tune. I was replaying my life in snapshots, dinner at the diner, penny counting for school field trips, skipping meals to save for her college fund. I'd given up so much. Friends, dreams, chances at love. For what? A daughter who humiliated me in public? For the first time in 21 years, I posed the question I had shoved beneath the rug. What about me? Didn't the mother's woman have respect, dignity, a life of her own? That night, a fire took hold in me. I wouldn't fade into her shadow anymore. The days that followed, I wandered through my home like a specter. Emily didn't take notice, lost in phone, friends, her world. But I was scheming. The dress she loved, the college fund I'd worked myself for, they were no longer hers. They were mine, and I was taking them back. I started with the dress, that symbol of my sacrifices. When she was out one day, I unzipped its bag, ran my fingers over the lace. Guilt stabbed me, but her laughter stung me more. I sold it online, and within days, a young bride bought it, her eyes shining with the same happiness Emily used to show. Passing it on, I didn't feel a pang of regret, only a strange, silent freedom. If this narrative speaks to you, as it did to me, subscribe to Mother's Heart, and let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Have you ever felt unseen by someone you love? Stay with me. That Mother's Day evening, I stood at the sink, arms smeared with suds, the laughter of my daughter Emily still burning in my heart. I'm Ruth, and I'd given 21 years to her. Every shift, every penny, every dream. But her contempt broke me, and I vowed I would no longer be her laughingstock. I was taking back my life, starting with the pieces I'd given up. The wedding dress was the first. It gathered dust in her closet, pristine, a testament to my sacrifice. Late nights working at the diner, evening meals forgone to fund it. I sold it someday, while Emily was giggling with friends elsewhere. The bride-to-be who purchased it cradled it with reverence, and the burden fell from me. It was no longer Emily's goal. It was my gateway to self-reliance. The college fund came next. For years, I dedicated myself to it, clipping coupons, living on soup to grow it, but she never saw its cost. So I withdrew it, paid off debts I'd borne secretly, and retained the remainder for myself. Each choice cut a thread connecting me to her lack of appreciation. I moved in secret, hiding boxes in the garage. Old photographs, my grandmother's quilt, some letters, small pieces of a life I'd all but forgotten. Emily did not look at me, her phone, her music, her world. She'd been a stranger, and maybe I had too. I stood in front of her room the night before I departed. She slept, her phone lighting up, her face peaceful like the child who once held me. "Don't leave, Mom," she'd begged so long ago. Tears fell, but I turned and walked. I wasn't leaving her behind. I was saving me. On the day I left, the sky hung low and gray, heavy with doubt. 2 suitcases held my life: clothing, photographs, memories. I stood outside her door, her breath even, but did not wake her. What would I say to her? Learn to love without cruelty? She was not there yet. I packed my car, the weathered paint and tilted shutters of the house staring back. There was a memory in each corner: her first birthday, her nights of fever, but they were memories of a Ruth who had sacrificed until she was exhausted. I left, my chest hollow, but lighter mile by mile. I settled in a small town 2 hours off, in a rental car with peeling paint and a creaking heater. The quiet was startling, no door slamming, no orders. I cooked my own food, walked in the park, chatted with Mrs. Ellis, my next-door neighbor who brought muffins. I rediscovered joys I'd overlooked: birdsong, reading at the window, tea taken in silence. Guilt at first. Was I selfish? But tranquility soon insinuated itself. I was enough, for the first time in 21 years. Weeks passed before Emily knew. Her messages turned acrid. "Where's my dress? The money?" Then desperation. Her tuition unpaid, her engagement breaking apart, her friends backing away. Her voicemails begged, "Mom, where are you?" I didn't call back. The calls weren't for me. She wanted what I'd provided her, not the mother I was in the process of becoming. A mother's heart doesn't harden fast, but mine was learning to cover itself. Months later, her voice cracked on the phone. "Mom, I need you." I vowed to meet halfway at a coffee shop in my new neighborhood, Middle Ground. She arrived smaller, darkened, bravado worn away. "Why'd you leave?" she cried. "You laughed at me, Emily. I gave you my life, and you used me to amuse your friends," she cried. "I was stupid, trying to impress them. I'm sorry." I pulled closer, firmly. "I love you, but love is not a throwaway. You didn't see me until I was gone." We talked for hours. She unloaded her regrets, her fiancé's hesitation, her empty social schedule, her frantic effort to pay bills. I saw the girl I'd raised, slipped away under stress to become someone else. But I didn't fix it. I listened and let her feel the weight of her choices. "Can I make it better?" she whispered, voice small. "That's your decision. Emily, respect is something you must earn every single day, especially with the people who love you." As I turned to leave, she caught my hand. "Don't leave me again." I softened. "I'm here, but as your mother, not your servant." Months later, Emily visited my apartment, her steps uncertain. We tended herbs on my balcony, her hands clumsy but determined. She's learning, volunteering, staying for meals, sorry not just with words but actions. I'm learning too, to love without surrender. Our bond is fragile, yet it's taking shape, founded on respect, not sacrifice. I'm no longer a mom. I'm Ruth, gardener, reader, woman with her own life. Mothers, you are more than your sacrifices. You deserve dignity, joy, and respect. If this resonated with your heart, share it. Subscribe to Mother's Heart. And let us know in the comments where you're listening from. Have you ever had to reclaim yourself? We'd love to hear your story. Let's keep this light of strength burning.